And everyone has a different moment in which things change for them. And I don't think there's a right or wrong, but this is what I did because you asked me about me. So it's a Saturday morning. This is a couple days after this conversation I had with my little brother where he says, never talk to me again. You're not my brother. That to me was the hardest hit of all of them.
Yeah.
Like it really was. And people always ask me, well, do you have the relationship with him now? I'm like, yeah, he just actually helped me move from Denver to Vegas. So like we've spent a lot of effort in that. But in that moment, man, I was so far gone. My mom was dead. My grandma was dead. Another one of my best friends got murdered. I was just like, I felt like God was always punishing me, man. I was like, why the fuck am I always suffering? And I'm laying in bed. It's a Saturday morning. I'm 350 pounds. I'm smoking a joint, eating chocolate cake, and watching the CrossFit Games. Like, dude, like this to me, I was like, here I am watching people do their best to make their dreams come true. And yet I'm destroying everything I touch constantly. And I pulled myself up out of that bed. I don't know why I did this. I have no idea why. But I went in the bathroom. I looked at myself in the mirror. And I remember being 8 years old. And when I was 8, the water company had come to our house and turned off our water. Dude, I grew up in America, the greatest country in the world. And we were so poor because of my mom's drug addiction, my stepfather's alcoholism, and both of their inability and lack of education with finances that we got our water turned off. And my mom says, go across the street to the neighbor's house, get water, but don't tell them. So I go in the backyard, I grab this little blue bucket, I walk across the street to our neighbor's house, and for the first time I stole water. Would not be the last. And I just remember, man, I was a daydreamer, dude. Like all the time I was just thinking about like that show Lifestyle of the Rich and Famous. My friend Derek Fay and I talked about this yesterday. Man, there's something about watching people have a different life. I would just daydream. I was like, what if I had food?
Yeah.
Right? Like really, because we drank fucking powdered milk and everything came in a can.
Yep.
And I was just sitting back there in that backyard with this bucket full of water that we were about to go drink out of for the next couple of days, coming back and forth doing this at this neighbor's house. And I was like, when I'm a grown up, this won't be my life. And it wasn't on paper. Dude, I got a smoking hot blonde girlfriend, got an $80,000 car. I have a career that most people would kill for. I mean, I was making $150,000 a year at 21. And we're talking about like almost 20 years ago when that's the equivalent of like $500,000, right? And so on paper, life is great. Except in every single possible fathomable way, I was not keeping the promise that I made to myself when I was 8. And people always like, what was the change? Dude, I stood in front of that mirror and I destroyed myself. Because I realized in that moment, like a truth, and it was that I was being a victim. And I was like, you're a bitch. Like I really, like this is where I get the pushback. Because I'm like, look, if you need that really soft, gentle approach, you go find that. You give that to you. But I came from hell, and in hell, we ain't very soft. And so I was like, get your fucking shit together. And I meant it, dude, and I meant it in this way that was like so affirming in that moment, man, where I was like, fuck you. I was so mad at myself. I was like, this is your fault. Your brother won't talk to you. You're cheating on your girlfriend. You're in fucking chaos constantly. You're in debt, another bill collector, another this, another that. Dude, I used to go to the gym, smoke a cigarette, go to McDonald's, sit in my car, look at the gym and say tomorrow. And I stopped fucking saying tomorrow. And I got in my ass and I was like, do it anyway. And I asked myself this question. And dude, this is where my whole life changed. This singular moment, I wrote about it in the book. I talk about it all the time. Call it God, Spirit, Mother Nature, Batman. Dude, I have no idea where this came from. But I asked myself this question. I was like, what are you willing to do to have the life that you want to have? And the answer was no excuses, just results.
That's beautiful, man. That's beautiful. What did you do? Let's go tactically for a second here. What did you do to lose the weight?
Stop eating like shit and work out.
You know, it's funny. I've asked that question to a lot of people. And that's almost always the answer.
Because it is the answer.
Yeah, there's no like, everyone wants like the magic pill, like, or the magic solution. Like, oh, I did, CrossFit. Well, I mean, CrossFit works.
Yeah, I did that too.
Yeah, I played racquetball. Okay, racquetball works. Yeah, all those things work, but it's like, I stopped eating like garbage. I stopped eating the way that I was raised to eat.
Yeah, well, and also I grew up in a food desert. I had no idea. Dude, I'm not joking or being facetious when I say this. I don't think I had a salad for the first time until I was 20 years old.
Same.
Right?
Yeah.
Also, I don't like salad, so it's perfect. but when I started this, because let's go into the nuance for that for a second, because there are people struggling really hard right now with weight.
Yes.
We are the most obese country in the world. Our food pyramid's a lie.
Yeah.
Our food is poison, and people don't understand that it's the small changes that'll change your life forever.
And Lucky Charms are healthier than steak.
Dude, man, if you ever want to have a case study for why the government's a lie, dude, we're going to get canceled. Jesus Christ. It's go look at the food pyramid.
Yeah.
They're going to take your show off. They're going to demonetize you because I said that.
I'm happy to have it. I'm happy to go out on a bang. This is great.
And so here's what really happened. I realized, because I'd been an athlete when I was a kid. It wasn't until I got money did I start getting fat, right? Honestly. Yeah. But I mean, I played 4 sports in high school. I was captain of the wrestling team, won a bunch of tournaments, blah, blah, blah. Was always in combat, love martial arts, still do martial arts to this day.
What do you do?
Muay Thai.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I do jiu-jitsu.